No, it's not an organisation or a charity. It was set up by me and Adib as basically somewhere where we could meet people on the street. That's why it's called Street Meet. And we could just be like mates rather than any top-down authority or any hierarchical sort of like organisation which told people what to do, what not to do. And we thought that, well, I think it's the wrong way to go about things. You should go on the street to people on the streets. It's their environment in a way, it's their streets. It's not up to people to tell them what to do or how to live their lives. So we set it up as a sort of like, anybody can come along and have a cup of tea. We always made a requirement, whoever wants to come along, they're quite welcome, except fascists. You know, that was simple as that, or racists. Yeah, my name's Paul Kelly. I haven't got any titles. I'm happy with that. 53 years of age, and I'm a former coal miner. I worked at Agecroft Colliery in Salford, and I trained at Parsonage Colliery near Lee. And we started the soup run up. It was me and Adib from Saffron Restaurant. We were just sitting down one night. What it was, when I left the pit, I used to work for an homeless organisation in Manchester. And I met a lot of people on the streets during the course of that work that I did, voluntary work. I'm doing a soup run and what was called red light work, in other words, doing a needle exchange and, you know, for heroin users and drug users on the streets. And red light work, which was meant prostitution, giving out condoms and health advice, things like that, you know, and supporting people who were in trouble. And I left that for a few years because I was looking after my partner who was quite unwell. But I still kept in contact with a lot of people on the streets, so they were like mates really. And they come up to us, a few of them, a few years ago, and they said, well, we've got nowhere to go on a Tuesday, nowhere, everything's shutting down, we can't get through. So we sort of saw a niche in the, not market, in the position that people were in where they had nowhere to go on a Wednesday. So me and Adib, we were sort of like the driving force. We decided to set up a soup run at All Saints near St Augustine's Church on Oxford Road, and it's just been going since then. You see, for people who don't emphasise, obviously, experiences and things, if they spent not particularly a night on the street, maybe a year, they'd have a lot more emphasis then. And the thing is, anybody can become homelessness. It's not them type of thing, you know. It's something that a lot of people experience in their lives through one reason or another. So it's very easy to condemn or not understand, and that's born out of fear of actually being in that position, I think. We're not going to change the world by having a soup run. What it did, we felt that there was people asking for help and we could provide it, so we needed it. I mean, I actually hate the soup run. I think it's an appalling thing. You know, I really do. I think it's appalling that we have to have a soup run. But the point is, that's me. Some people on the streets really appreciate it, and that's why we do it. But it's not a political action to expose homelessness or fight homelessness or launch a campaign group. It's just basically a meet where we can meet and talk to people and help people if they need it, if we can give the help. And we can't accomplish miracles. You know, we have limitations, so you have to be prepared for that as well. We've done a number of things. We've done potatoes and mince. We have chicken curry, which goes down well, with naan bread. We have tea, soft drinks, cordial juices. We have biscuits for the tea. We've had rice, food. We have different ones. Whatever we get donated from our friend, the butcher, will use lamb, beef, mince. Varies the food. It's quite a hostile environment on the street sometimes. It's not a nice place to be, you know, unless you've got to keep your wits about you. You're working with vulnerable people with mental health problems. People are just angry, you know, understandably in the position that they're in. So you have to have a bit of a thick skin, you have to have a lot of empathy. And I'd say be a good listener. So I had that experience in the past, so I brought that experience in doing what we do today. I haven't been homeless myself, but obviously I know a lot of people who have, and I had a few cousins who 3 have actually died on the streets because they became addicted to heroin. And one died last year, and it's quite upsetting really, but he was found in a lockup in Ancoats in Manchester. He'd been there 3 months, dead, and he'd been eaten by rats. So they only identified him by his fingertips. Now that's family. See, the other thing about actually coming from Salford, working class lad, I was meeting a lot of people who I grew up with and who went to school with, and the next thing you're seeing them on the streets. Now that hurts, that really hurts, because you see people as they were, and that's what I'm saying again. A lot of them people led certain lives that were quite, what should I say, normal. They wouldn't have envisaged going on the streets, but because of circumstances, that's where it's led them to being on the streets. That's upsetting. Seeing your friends on the streets or your relatives, and sometimes you can't do help to help them, because if you've got mental health problems or drug addiction problems, you can't help them. They need specialist help, and that specialist help isn't there. The detox isn't there, the support isn't there, so it's frustrating as well, so very frustrating. I just feel, when I was on strike, I used to go to soup kitchens myself, so I got fed, so I had that sort of empathy, and I just thought, it's more our soup run, it's more like, it's not a charity, it's more like, now it's mates, so it's like giving someone a square meal in a day who might not get one on that day, so it's more like human work, it's just being human, it's just being, giving people a voice to listen to and talk to you, talk to them. There's a lot of problem with homeless people, nobody speaks to them. It gives them a chance as well to speak and be human for once, because on the streets they're totally ignored or harassed or abused, so there's a place of safety. You have a cup of tea and a chat, and there's no judgmental attitude with our lot, live and let live.